Okay, today we're going to make a really nice, light, not summery, but sort of summery lunch, bit of fish. So we're going to do a tandoori smoked haddock. I know it sounds weird, it really works. First of all, start off with the fish, get it marinated. So I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of tandoori paste. I'm using Patek's, but you know, use whatever you want. And 1 tablespoon of yoghurt, because that's really strong, that marinade. Then we're just going to mix it together. You don't want to let it sit in this too long. Sort of half an hour is more than enough, because you don't want to lose all the taste of the fish. So that's that. Grab the smoked haddock. This is from just down the road, actually. White Hills. There we go. Put it in there. Quite healthy as well, this meal. We're going to do a nice pilau rice and a nice Indian onion salad. And the 3 really work together. Just finished off with a little bit of mint yogurt. Same as you get your poppadoms in the Indian restaurants. Okay, so now that needs to sit and marinate for half an hour. Meanwhile, we'll get on with some other stuff. Okay, for the salad, we're going to need a bowl. Some nice fresh coriander, half green pepper, half cucumber, a few nice tomatoes, bit of onion. If you want to put chilli in, go ahead. I'm not going to, because it's going with a really light dish. And there's enough spice in the fish. So I'm not going to put chilli in. So I'll just go ahead and prep up these vegetables. Okay, that's the veg prepped. Now we're just going to season it up. Now, unlike a lot of salads, I actually want the juice to come out of this a little bit. So we're going to put the salt on early. A couple of good pinches of sea salt. A little sprinkle of garam masala. Maybe about 1/4 teaspoon, not too much. About the same of, I'm using smoked paprika, but it's the hot one. You can use cayenne pepper if you want. So about 1/4 teaspoon of that. Tablespoon of your chosen vinegar. I'm using a homemade Chardonnay vinegar, but you can use whatever one you've got, cider vinegar, anything like that. And what we want to do is let all them juices start flooding out. A good hit of freshly ground black pepper. That's it. So this one goes in the fridge for 10-15 minutes, just to let the juices start coming out and all the flavours mix. And you want it to soften down a little bit. So that's that one done. Okay, next up, the yoghurt. So we're going to do 3 big tablespoons of, I'm using Greek yogurt. You use whatever you want. Greek yogurt gives you something to sort of move about the plate rather than just be liquid. A couple of teaspoons of pre-made mint sauce. A couple of shakes of garam masala. It's about 1/2 teaspoon in now. A tiny shake of tumeric. Some salt. Pepper. And a soup spoon of sugar. Now we just mix that up, and again that just wants to sit for 10 minutes. Let everything mix through. You can start putting things like powdered garlic in that, but You don't really need it. This is fresh yoghurt. That's all you need. Right, moving on. So we're going to start making the rice now. First of all, I've got a pan that's been warmed up. It's not hot, but it's warmed up. Into that, I'm putting 1 piece of mace. If you haven't got mace, put a little bit of nutmeg, not much. 1 bay leaf, 1 star anise, got a couple of cloves, 1 black cardamon, 3 green cardamon, about 1/4 teaspoon of coriander seeds, and about 1/2 teaspoon of cumin seeds. You've got 1/2 teaspoon of fennel seeds, a piece of cinnamon or cassia bark, whichever you've got. Now they're all going into a dry pan, and all we're doing is allowing the oils to come out and warm so it starts to release its flavours. You'll smell it when it gets there. So once they're warmed through, we're going to add a couple of ounces of butter. And 1 small chopped onion. Also in there we're going to put about a teaspoon, a good teaspoon of chopped ginger. You can use a puree, but I like to bite on it. Releases a little bit of flavour each time. And then a teaspoon or so of garlic, depending on how much you like your garlic. I like a lot, so I'll put a lot of it. Okay, we're just going to let all the flavours release from that and sweat it out a little bit. We don't want any colour, so we'll leave that for a bit. Okay, as you can see, that's sweated out a bit now. So we're going to put 1 cup, 1 American cup of basmati rice, and I'm going to add a tiny little scatter of turmeric as well. Now we want the rice to get coated in that butter and really start to open out. You'll see it slightly change colour a little bit. So while that's cooking, I'm just going to get the vegetable stock, which I can't find now. Oh, that's it. We're just going to put about a cube of vegetable stock in. A wee crumble. And mix that in. Now the same with all rice, it's 1.5 water to rice. So for each cup of rice you put 1.5 cups of water. Now I can smell that that's all starting to mix, so I'm going to get 1.5 cups. And measure it properly, don't do it roughly, it's got to be the right amounts. There we go, so that's 1.5 cups of water. You give it a wee stir. Good hit of salt. Make sure all the rice is down in the liquid. And then we'll put a tight lid on it. Now we're going to let that go until it comes to the boil, and then we're going to turn it down to minimum and then let it steam. Do not open the lid unless you really have to. It's going to take about 15 minutes to steam. Meanwhile, I'm going to put my marinated haddock on the tray ready to go into the air fryer. I'm just going to brush it with a little bit of oil first. Okay, so here's the smoked haddock. It's been marinated. I've just brushed it with some oil. It's going into the hot air fryer now. Right, so it's been about 15 minutes. You can see that all the water's gone now. We're just going to lift off any bits that we can see. Don't really want to bite into them, especially not these little green ones. They usually all float to the surface. So all we're going to do now, give it a few turns over, turn it off, get that clove out, just loosen it up, then it stir through. We're going to put the lid on and leave it for about 3 minutes. Okay, that's been about 3 minutes. I've got a bowl, I've just put some butter in it, just loose it up. Whop a portion of that in there. Give a very gentle push down, not too much. And then we'll start plating up. Okay, to plate up, take the rice, pop it on the plate, cross your fingers, there we go. There's your rice out. Now we take some of the salad. Salad's gone nice and soft. Don't pour out all the juices, because you'll have a plate of soup on your hands. There we go. All nice and crunchy and vibrant. Fresh flavours. That's your salad. We're going to take our tandoori smoked haddock. Just pop it on there. There we go. And in the crowning glory, the mint. A nice blob of the mint there. There you go. It's nice and light. It's reasonably healthy. Not too dear. That all depends on the price of the fish where you are, obviously. But look, give it a go. It's very tasty. It makes a real change for a Saturday lunch.